Very excited. We just came back from 150 below.
So
Into
we're
this-
going from 5 above to the tropics in here.
Wasn't 150 below?
No. And so this is the St. Paul Winter Carnival Orchid Show.
Okay.
You want to explain?
And there are orchid lovers throughout the world that have like collections, like a coin collection. They have an orchid collection. And they just find different species within the group of orchid and fill their greenhouses or their homes full of them. There in Minnesota, Lady Slipper is a part of the orchid family.
It's our state flower.
Our state flower. It's a beautiful. All of these are Minnesota-grown orchids. They're wild. They're in the forest, they're in the wetlands, they're all over Minnesota. And this is the one I was talking about before. My mother would find them in the close to the wet areas on the farm.
Here we have the 2019 Winter Carnival Orchid Show, Orchid Society, Minnesota.
There would usually be an artist with them. As they discovered a plant, this artist would draw it for illustration, and then they would gather that plant and bring it home. And azaleas and rhododendrons came from China, and there were certain areas that they grew profound a lot.
The what? The profound what?
No, profusely.
Oh, profusely.
Yeah. And
So what you see around you is a bunch of exhibits by the Orchid Society of Minnesota. And the Orchid Society of Minnesota is one of the most active orchid societies in the country.
the Latin name for this is Sansevieria. But what is really called in the real world is mother-in-law's tongue. Uh-oh is right. Some of them are really long.
Yeah. Enough said.
Enough said. Well, it's the gardenias that are making it so fragrant. And they're right behind us.
Well, this has been a very nice way to spend a couple hours in the winter. And we didn't even know that this orchid show was happening, so that was a nice surprise.
It was a nice surprise.
And what's your overall impressions?
To come in from outside where you can hardly take a deep breath because you're freezing, to in here where you take a breath and it's gardenia perfume. There's gardenias all around.
This is your happy place.
This is my happy
And what
place.
you missed and what I didn't video, oops, dripping
Little
on us.
condensation.
What I didn't video was Mom saying, "Oh, look at this, Keely, look at this, look at this, look at this." So she definitely is in her element here.
Yeah. Years ago, I went to the University of Minnesota Ag Department and I received my Master Gardener certificate. So, and I've always been a gardener since I've been a little girl. So this is wonderful.
Yep,
It's a
absolutely.
wonderful place to be. Incredible. Mm-hmm. It's incredible.
Eye candy.
Good job.
Eye candy for the soul. So the history of the St. Paul Winter Carnival is, in 1885, a New York reporter wrote that St. Paul was another Siberia, unfit for human habitation. In winter, offended by this attack on their city, the St. Paul Chamber of Commerce decided to prove not only that St. Paul was habitable, but that its citizens were very much alive during the winter, their most dominant season. And this is from Wikipedia, by the way. The first carnival was held in 1886. Some of the events that are taking place are the Royal Coronation, the Grand Day Parade, which I think was canceled. I think that was today. I think it's too cold. I don't know. Last night, maybe. Frozen Family Fun Night, snow sculpting, ice sculpture carving, and there's the Torchlight Parade. And then a lot of years they have the ice palaces, which are lit up with lights, and it's very pretty.
I got a rice bowl.
Oh. That's with what?
You said quick and painless.
Explaining a lot. You got a salmon bowl, but it's not here yet.
No, I got a salmon cake.
Salmon cake's not here yet.
Okay, I got shrimp and grits. And a teeny thing of hot sauce.
Wow, that's adorable.
Yeah.